don't even think I'm beautiful, do you?
Well...
Wrong answer, John. Bye.
Okay. Thanks for your call.
I think that chick's got the hots for you.
Henry in Liverpool, you're up next.
These experiments are still going on. Only a fool would believe they've ended.
I agree. And thanks for your call. Donald from New York, what say you?
Nobody has ever in the history of politics received the kind of negative advertising that I have.
Thanks for your call.
That guy sounds familiar.
Yeah, he just started calling the show a few weeks ago, and now he's become a regular. Chicago, Illinois, welcome to the John LeBang Show.
I got my mind control for President Obama.
What?
You be talking mind control, and I got me some.
Okay, if you say so.
And can I say one more thing?
If you must.
You be too good for that ditzy stupid. She be ugly with those fake boobies. I got the real thing. So if you want a real woman, drop that pale-faced, bleach-blonde, fat lip hole and get some pepper.
Okay, thanks for your offer, but I think it's better we keep things as is.
That's cool, but if you be changing your mind, that'd be good too.
Okay, thanks for your call.
What the hell is with you?
What do you mean?
Trying to pick up chicks on the radio.
I'm just taking calls, Wilbert. Over to Detroit. You're up next.
I wouldn't be going out with that chick. I know all about it. She's gonna give you the creepy crawlies.
Okay, thanks for your call. Over to D.C. Barry, you're up next.
I've made clear, just as President Bush did shortly after 9/11, that our war is not against Islam. Bin Laden was not a Muslim leader.
Thanks for your call. Back out to Georgia. What say you?
Hi, John. Tell that lard-ass coconut from Chicago to kiss my ass, John.
What is it with you two?
She's cutting me down and hogging up all your airtime, John, and I don't like it.
Listen, she's calling back in. How about I put you both on the air and you two can work this out?
Fine.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
It'll be fine, Wilbert.
Famous last words.
Peppa, you're on with Ditzy. You ladies need to resolve this issue you have with each other.
By slapping the bitch in the mouth with my real boobies. That's what I do. See, John, that's all she does is attack me, and I'm sick of it. Oh, what you gonna do, Botox lips? These are my lips, you king dog eating wig wearing hippopotamus.
Ladies.
What did I tell you?
I don't wear those wigs, you skinny ass bleach leatherface airhead. Well, if that's your real hair, was your daddy a porcupine? Don't be talking about my daddy. Okay, I won't. But did your mother have 12 baby daddies as well? I'm gonna bust your fat lips.
Ladies, I have to cut you off. We can't have this on radio. Thanks for your calls.
I told you this was going to be trouble.
Yeah, bad ideas. You got any good ones?
Well, one.
What's that?
What about they settle this in a wrestling match?
Wrestling?
Well, it'd be fun to watch.
Okay, well, let's ask them. Ladies, are you still there?
I'm here, John. Abby's here.
Well, Wilbert has suggested on how to settle this.
Add mud to the conditions.
Mud?
Isn't that how girls wrestle?
Wilbert suggests you settle this by having a mud wrestling competition. I have a friend in the wrestling world, and I'm sure we could entice him to come on and help out make sure that this would all be a fair match. And the John LeBang Show will also air it live as it happens. Do you ladies agree to a yet undetermined future mud wrestling match?
Anything for you, John. I'll be dazzled.
Great. We'll work out the details off air. Bill, you're on the John LeBang Show.
There's also Area 51. You remember there was a great sci-fi movie where there was an alien kept deep under the ground. So first I had people go look at the records on Area 51 to make sure there was no alien down there.
What difference at this point does it make?
Is that your wife?
Sort of. I think it was at the beginning of my second term. We know from our fancy telescopes, thing came up, I knew we'd get, gazillions of letters.
Okay, thanks for your call. Wilbert, you're on the John LeBang Show.
The Clinton campaign has held at least 13 fundraisers overseas so far to gain support for her presidential campaign.
Yes, a total of $495,000 in campaign donations were collected.
Well, I think that's a bunch of bullshit.
Agreed. Thanks for your call. Back out to Arkansas. Hillary, you're up next.
What difference at this point does it make?
Thanks for your call. over to Chicago. Pepper, you're up next.
That Ditsy Stupid is a big lip fake boobies hole.
Thanks for your call. John the Bank Show.
Everything ready?
Don't worry, Shady. We got your back. Don't worry.
Well, that's good. I'll see you at quarter after.
You got it. Thanks for your call. Hello, this is the John the Bank Show. How may I help you?
Why you always be putting down President Obama?
Well, you know, talking all this space tonight, I wanted to tell everybody a little story. Most people have not heard this story before. And it's about a story of two friends. And these friends were not Earthlings. They're not from the planet Earth. And the story that I'm talking about is the story of the Space Cadet Rangers. Now, once upon a time, there were these two friends. Odar, he was from the planet Fume. It was this large, giant, massive gas planet. It was noxious and desolate, and it was filled with gas all the time. It's a gas planet. And there was a race of beings on this planet, and they were called fumigators. They were these humanoid type beings. But instead of water being the basis of their existence, they were primarily made of gas. Now, the fumigators were a very diverse race. They were extremely diverse. Some were quite strong, and others were very weak. Some were extremely loud, and some were very silent. And normally it was the silent ones that were the most deadly. But in any regards, the fumigators had an extremely short existence. Not because their lifespan was short. In fact, the fumigators potentially could live forever because of their gaseous state. But they didn't have a very long lifespan. In fact, some of them only lived as long as just a few seconds. And others managed to live much longer. There were even some rare cases where elder fumes, as they were dubbed, lingered on for years. You see, they were the smart ones. You see, living on fume was not like living here on Earth. Way different, right? This was a giant gas planet, massive superplanet. And it constantly expelled gas into the environment. See, all this gas would build up on the planet. And then the sun would come in, the rays from the sun would come in, and because all this gas would bubble up, it would condense in one area. The sun rays would come in and it would poof, and a reaction happened called farting. P-H-A-R-D-I-N-G, farting. And when that reaction happened, millions of fumes would be ejected into space, where they would, of course, die. And not right away, mind you. It took their sun's radiation to cook them. And then they would explode. Boom! And this farting happened all the time. It was a concept that you're on a gas planet. Gas buildup, if you're in the wrong place, boom, it's like one of those sinkholes here on Earth. You know, if you're in the bedroom and you're sitting there and a sinkhole happens, there you go. Well, that's what happened on fume. These gases would build up, and if you weren't a smart one, if you didn't have a good nose and you didn't smell the fumes building up, boom, there you went, out in space, where you would fry. But the smart ones would dance around, they'd smell it, and so you're always dancing around, running around. Every 0.3 seconds, a farting event happened on fume. Now just imagine, that was your existence. Here you are, this single fumigator, you're just born, and if you're just born at the wrong time, mom's giving you birth, Right there, you're giving birth, and all of a sudden, farting happens. You're gone. You didn't get any time to enjoy life. You're expelled into the atmosphere, expelled into space, and then you're fried. And then the sun dissipates you, and you just go away. So it was a big deal. And when you could live for more than a couple days, because remember, this happened all the time. So here's guys running around trying to survive. That's how you survived on fume. You smell gas, you get the frick out of the way. If you didn't get out of the way, you're gone. Problem is, gas would build up over here and over here and over here. It's always expelling. There's always gas coming up. The smart ones knew how to live longer, anyways. Now, the other friend, to give you a little bit of his backstory, he was a shapeshifter. He was from the liquid world of Toilet. Stain was flushed from his home for nonconformity. He was an outcast. So he took a ship. That's right, he had to take a ship because nobody gave a ship. So he had to take a ship. And after years of flowing around in the dark sewage pipes of the black hole universe, Stain was drained and adrift. He was floating endlessly until, as fate would have it, he drifted right by the planet Fume. During Odar's farting experience. That's what they called it. Farting experience. You're walking along, and the gas buildup happens, and you get shot into space. That was a farting experience. And here's Odar flying into space, and he slams right against Stain's ship. Boom! Odar's mark was left on that ship, and it's there even today. Now, Stain, realizing what happened, quickly absorbed Odar and transported him on board. And though it took a long time for the two to understand each other and learn how to communicate and work together, that day, each had saved the other's life. Because Odar was a gas being, and Stain was out of gas. So Odar, who could either choose to go back to his homeworld and wait for the next farting experience, or stay on board Stain's ship, he chose to stay there. And Stain needed a fuel source. And Odar was made of gas. And because they both needed each other to continue to exist, from then on, those two would forever be friends. And they traveled the universe together. Odar and Stain. Stain and Odar. It was always them together. And one day, they found their way to this green little ball to reach a planet called Earth. And that story is for yet another day.
Captain Rainbow Civil War begins April 17th.